All right. Um, so again, we appreciate you all joining us this afternoon. I just want to do a quick introduction of our student success team. So we have our director, Dr. Johnny Pula. He is our main person of contact with the student success team. He helps out a lot about setting up any type of college or career readiness workshops and helping and support students in the STEM field. And then we also have our scholarship liaison, who is also our program officer on our student success team, Taylor Kingsbury. She is very helpful in answering any questions and also providing more information about opportunities that AISES hosts, such as our internships and scholarships. And then myself, my name is Monique Harvey, and I'm the Student Success Program Coordinator with AISES. So I help a lot alongside Dr. Johnny Pula and Taylor. So any one of us are really happy to assist you and then helping you all in any way of support academic in the STEM field. So please feel free to reach out to any one of us. And please also take note of our emails in case in the future if you want to contact us with any questions that you may have. So that's our student success team. And briefly, just wanted to share a little bit of our webinar overview for today. So today is one of our monthly college readiness webinars. We host these webinars every fourth Thursday of each month, starting from January. And then our last webinar is scheduled for next month in May. So I'll share more information about that at the closing of our webinar. And we always host these webinars within the lunch period. All of our time zones are listed here. And then we also record all of our webinars and we post them on our Student Success website. So if you have any questions or you'd like to review one of our past webinars, please feel free to reference our Student Success website, and all of our past webinars are posted there. And then at the very end, just before we close out the webinar, we do a drawing for a $25 Visa gift card. So please stay tuned for that. And then of course, please feel free to use the chat setting to answer any questions that you have during the webinar. Or if you have any questions yourself, please feel free to unmute yourself, or you can put them in the chat as well. So that is our brief webinar overview. And as always, today our webinar is focused more on doing a walkthrough in the AISES portal that we use for students to submit their scholarship application. So I'm gonna go ahead and shift gears for a little bit and going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment. And then we'll shift over to a new screen. Here we go. All right, are you all able to see my screen again? Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Atisha. Thank you. So, all right. So I will kind of briefly share a little bit after you log into AISES. So if you have not yet created your AISES account with AISES, it's really easy. It's kind of the simple setting of entering a good email address and then setting up a password. Once you have set all that information up, you will be given to a new web page where you'll enter this web page right here, where it brings you to the AISES application. But before I go into more information about the next steps when you start your application with the scholarship with AISES, first and foremost, I want to share that students must begin a membership ID. So they establish signing up for a membership with AISES, and this is free to all students, high school students and college students. So if you are not yet an AISES member, this is the first step you will need to do before beginning an application with AISES. And if you're already a member, you also can log in to your membership, and you can, and it's okay if you don't remember like your username or password. AISES does provide this option for you to get that login information. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this membership link in the chat. So again, this is the first step. We ask our students to first sign up a membership in AISES before they begin a scholarship application, as the information about your AISES membership will be needed to be inserted into the application. So that's the first step. After you have created a membership in with AISES, you'll again create your AISES account. And after you have created your AISES account, you'll be brought to this web page right here. So here on this web page is where you begin inserting all of your student information. So first here, you'll see the small draw box. It'll say applicant profile. And here, instead of it saying complete, you'll actually see an action item saying incomplete status or action required. So you'll see one of those two statuses up here. So you'll be given the option to begin to enter your application information. So for example, I'm just going to click edit here, but I'll provide a different option to you when you begin entering your information. And of course, the site's pretty slow. There we go. Okay. So here we are entering your application information and creating your profile. So here we ask you to enter your first name and your last name, as well as your date of birth. We answer a gender identity question and entering your email address. This is very critical. We ask students to kind of be remembering what is a good address for you to enter. As we understand that high school seniors oftentimes have a school affiliated email address, and also, you know, for anyone who is graduating as well and thinking of pursuing a master's or a PhD, to remember to enter a more personal email address. That way you'll be able to receive updates about your application status, or if we need to follow up, the scholarship team needs to follow up with you about any additional documents, that would be a great email address to enter here. For some reason, oftentimes the addresses associated with the school can get inactivated, so it won't be as active, so it'll be a little bit harder to get in contact with you. So we ask students to kind of enter an address that they feel they check most frequently and occasionally, so that way it's easier to contact you. So just a heads up by entering that into the portal. And then if you scroll further down the application, the profile information, you'll see we'll be asking you to enter some current address and contact information, such as a mailing address, a good phone number we can contact you, and there's a few additional questions of how you would like our scholarship team to reach you. And then if you scroll further down, you will also see the option where you enter a tribal affiliation. This is the tribe that you currently are enrolled in or a member of. So this is where you put in that information. And then if you scroll further down, you will see where you enter your institution or the name of the university or school you are attending in the coming academic year. So that's where you enter your name of the institution, excuse me. And then if you scroll further down, it's not always an option, but we always are welcome to students entering their student ID number. And then here is another additional part that we find very critical in the area of study. We ask students here to enter a field of study that they are currently pursuing. And we understand that there are times during the college journey that you may be unsure what STEM field you're going into, but we do ask students to kind of put this area in that's very broad. So for example, computer science, engineering, they have very specific fields and just in that general study. So although we enjoy our students being very specific in what field they're going into, but to help them a little bit, making sure that they are matching to eligible scholarships you're eligible to apply for, we kind of tell students just keep it broad. That way you are able to match well with scholarships that you're eligible to apply for. If you put something a little bit more specific, it may not match you to a scholarship you want to apply for. And that could also be a common issue, which is totally fine. But if you're unsure if your STEM field study matches the funders criteria, please feel free to email us, shoot us a message and let us know like, hey, I think I'm in a computer science field. This is my specific field. We'll be able to confirm that with you, and then we'll let you know if you're eligible to apply for the scholarship. So that's just a little bit of what the area study does. And then if you scroll a little bit further down again, we ask you to enter a year in school. For seniors who are just finishing up high school, we ask you to enter your school year as a freshman, as you will be beginning your college journey. And excuse me, and there are actually scholarships that are geared to matching the student's profile. So any information you enter in your profile, our system generates it to scholarships that you're eligible to apply for. So for example, we have a 3M scholarship that's only open to incoming freshman students who are high school seniors now going into college. They're only eligible to apply for the 3M scholarship. And meanwhile, for the A.T. Anderson scholarship, that's open to all students, undergrad, graduates, and anyone who's majoring in a STEM field. So that's open to all students. So that's what the profile information is for, and that's how it, again, it calculates into what scholarships you're eligible to apply for. So if you have already begun your college journey and you're starting application with AISES, or you're continuing, we ask students to enter the earned credit hours. We also ask for expected graduation date. Again, that doesn't need to be set in stone. We just want to hear more from you about your expected graduation date. And then we ask for a student status. We ask students if they're going to be full-time or part-time. Unfortunately, AISES does not provide any part-time scholarships, but we do provide full-time scholarship for students at accredited university. So that is what the student attendance status is. And then if you scroll a little bit further down, you'll also see the information about the platform with Cobell. So one thing we also want to mention, which I should have earlier, is we share the AISES platform with Cobell. So actually, when you create your profile, and we'll look at to view the scholarship opportunities you're eligible to apply for, you'll also see Cobell scholarship opportunities that you're eligible to apply for. So AISES and Cobell share the AISES platform. We just have different scholarship criteria though. So just keep that in mind. We do share the platform, but there's different requirements for each of our organizations. So here you'll see a little bit more about Cobell's settlement status, some questions they ask students who are interested in applying for a Cobell scholarship. And then if you scroll a little bit further down, you'll see some statements of where we ask students to initial to each of the following statements. We do ask students to take some time to review the following statements as they're just about to complete their profile information. Each of these statements kind of specify that I am the one applying for a scholarship. I'm okay with AISES using my information, just general consent information, and understanding that when any information that students enter into the AISES portal, it is protected by the FERPA law. So these are some general statements that we ask students to review and keep in mind when applying. So after you have initialed each of the following statements and have signed at the very bottom and dated, that is pretty much it for the profile information. So you would go ahead and save changes here at the bottom. You would click it. And after you have completed entering all the information, it comes back to the web page you were at before, and it'll tell you an updated status that you have completed the application profile. So note, this is not the application, it's just setting you up to making sure that the system, again, is matching you to eligible scholarships you're eligible to apply for. So now that you have completed your application profile, you'll scroll down a little bit more, passing all the verbiage a little bit about the application portal. You will see down here at the bottom, you'll see your name, and in your name, there's going to be a link included at the bottom in the turquoise banner. So you'll go ahead and click on this. And there we go. And so for just a moment, please, don't pretend you don't see the scholarship applications. Just before you click on the banner, the turquoise banner with your name on it, I'll bring you to an eligibility form. And I apologize again, as we kind of filled out the eligibility form earlier. But basically what the eligibility form is, it's similar to your application profile, but it's going to ask for additional information from you as a student. So for example, when you click on the eligibility form, when you begin filling it out, it will ask you to enter your GPA of either your high school or for your college as well, if you've begun your college journey. And then I'll also ask additionally of your degree level, if you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or a PhD. And then I'll be asking you about your area of discipline. So for example, I'll ask you what your major is, and if you're a protected veteran, what year again you're a school in, and if you are a resident of a Washington of a state of Washington or attending a public institution in the state of Washington. So each of these questions, again, helpful in our system, generalizing it to match you up to an AISES scholarship. And so for example, the last question, when asking if you're a resident of the state of Washington or attending to a school in Washington, there's a specific scholarship we have that's available to students specifically who are attending or a resident of Washington that they can apply for. So that's how our system operates a little bit, and I apologize if it's a little confusing, but please let me know if you have any questions. So again, once you have filled out your eligibility form, you'll go ahead and save changes, and then you can close it out. Usually when you save changes, I'll bring you back to this web page here. once you have completed your eligibility form, you will start to see this option of scholarships and applications in this module box. And then you should see the option here in this next lower box to view the available scholarship opportunities that you're eligible to apply for. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And once you have clicked on that, we make note to our scholars to take note of the contact information on top. So all the contact information here are for people that you can reach out to if you have any questions about the application, if you experience a technical difficulty, or anything related to a scholarship. Feel free to reach out to any one of us. And specifically, if it's related to COBEL, if you have a COBEL scholarship, reach out to the COBEL organization. And if it's with AISES, please feel free to reach out to Taylor Kingsbury. She's our main contact, and any one of us would be happy to help you. So just to make note of that. And if you scroll down, once you click on to view your scholarships and applications, you will see the COBEL scholarships again, which ones you're eligible to apply for with COBEL. I know right now for this upcoming academic year, the scholarship application has closed, but I know there's some application that's open. So if you're interested, that will most likely come up as an option for you to apply for. And then if you scroll a little bit further down, you will see the AISES scholarship listing. So here you will see all the opportunities of scholarships that you are eligible to apply for. And as always, we do have the status next to the scholarships of which ones that are open and closed. So right now, all of our travel scholarships are currently closed. Right now, National Conference will be open, hopefully midsummer. So if you're interested in attending National Conference this coming new year, just please be very and aware of the announcement that we will open the application. And for Leadership Summit, the travel scholarship for that is currently closed. But if you look further down, you will see all of the academic scholarships that we have available for students to apply for. And again, this is generated by the information that you provided in your profile, as well as the eligibility form. So for our example, we know that most students will be matched with the A.T. Anderson scholarship. So I'm going to click on the A.T. Anderson scholarship application as our example for today of what the application portal will look like. So once you click on a scholarship application, you're going to start. It will open a new tab for you. So go ahead and click continue. Once it is once it has opened as a new tab, you'll continue as yourself, and then I'll bring you to the application for the scholarship. So this is where it really starts from. So again, if you need to make any updates or changes in your application profile, it gives you that option here to edit any information. But if you scroll further down, you will start to see another module box with your name on it and what scholarship application you will be starting. Before I click on this, I just want to make it well known of the statuses for students when they begin. So just keep in mind of your status in the banner down here at the bottom, as green means that you have completed everything in your transcript, your enrollment verification documents, and have answered all the questions in the application, and your status should be green, and that means that has been submitted to us for further review. If it is yellow, that means that you have action required steps that need to be completed on your by you. So for example, there may have been some information you might have guided over that was documents that maybe need to be submitted. So that's what the yellow stands for. And if you do experience a red banner, that usually means that there's something malfunctioning in your application, a technical difficulty. So we always ask our students to reach out to us if they do experience a red banner. So, and we usually get pretty quick about fixating the issue. So just a heads up, just be wary about your status bar. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and click on the scholarship application. And have a buffer moment. There we go. All right. So here we are in our AISES A.T. Anderson scholarship application. So just to make a few notes about what you'll see in the beginning once you start your application, you will see here on the right part of how many days are left to submit your application. And then you'll see here all the information you will need to know about the scholarship. So you'll get to see the scholarship amount, the eligibility, and the tribal citizenship. This is all as well listed in the AISES scholarship website if you want further information, but here again it's just relisted here to help you out. So if you scroll a little bit down, you'll see the application module box again, as well as the reference requests. And so before I go into the application, friendly reminder that each of AISES scholarships requires 2 letters of recommendation from the students. So we ask students to ask their reference of people who can write a letter on your behalf. This can be a teacher, an advisor, a counselor, a coach, and if you're employed, a boss, we generally ask students to definitely kind of reach out to them sooner than later. So that way they have some time from now until May 31st, or actually, excuse me, until June 7th to submit your letter of recommendation. So June 7th is actually the date of the deadline that we ask recommenders to submit their letter on the student's behalf. And then May 31st is we ask students to submit the scholarship application. So if you have any questions about the deadlines, please let me know. But that is generally the application layout for each of our scholarship applications with AISES. So I will go ahead and begin entering the A.T. Anderson Scholarship application. So if you scroll further down, here's where you enter your AISES membership information. Like I mentioned briefly, the first step in applying for a scholarship, we ask students to first set up an AISES membership. That's free again to everyone, to high school students and college students. So once you have become an AISES member, you'll enter your membership ID, and it's okay if you haven't been an AISES member for more than a year, or even if you sign up today, it's okay. We understand, and it's open to everyone. So definitely, we just want to make that connection with students to make sure that they're up to date on AISES news, as well as some information about future scholarship opportunities. So if you scroll further down, you'll see more questions related to AISES, like how did you hear from us? And then we'll ask more questions about your student and family history. This is where you enter more about your family history, education history as well. And then once you scroll further down, we'll be asking you some more student information, such as entering your major area of field, and if you are pursuing a minor, your ethnicity, and then we'll be asking you your educational history, where you enter your high school information. So, and then we also like to make note to our graduates who are applying for the A.T. Anderson Scholarship. We do ask graduate students to list the undergraduate institutions they have attended and graduated from. So that is pretty much all it for the educational history part. If you scroll further down, you'll see that all of our scholarship applications do ask for students to submit a resume. So here you will upload your resume. When you select a file, you upload your resume here. And then you'll see the essay questions listed just right below the resume. Each of the essay questions for all of our scholarships, they're worded very differently. They're formatted similarly, but the verbiage of the statements of the questions that they're asking for students to answer is a little bit different each of our scholarships. So one tip that we have been sharing with students is make sure you have like a Word document or a Google document right next to you when you're applying, and write your responses in that Word document, and then kind of copy and paste those your response into the portal. That way, when you're applying for, let's say you got matched to more than one AISES scholarship. So not only are you applying for A.T. Anderson, but maybe you're applying for an Intel scholarship, and the questions may sound similar, and you could probably use the same responses that you use in A.T. Anderson, but except maybe edit it a little bit more, add a few more details, that way, it saves a little bit of time on your end, as well as, just making your energy more worthy. So that's kind of tip we've been sharing to our students to make it more easier for you and to help you organize your thoughts a little bit better. So that's one tip we've shared. And then here in additional comment section, after you have inserted all your essay responses, we also give students a heads up that they can also provide us additional comments, like if you've had not a really great semester, like your GPA wasn't what you expected it to be. And we definitely applaud students to talk about that with us, share that with us, like what your next steps are to improve, or maybe expand a little bit more of your reasoning of why your GPA wasn't where you thought it would be at. So we definitely give that opportunity to students to definitely kind of expand and share a little bit more to our reviewers in reviewing your scholarship application. So that's pretty much all the essay section. And then kind of towards the bottom, we ask students to submit their tribal citizenship verification. Again, this includes a document saying that you're an enrolled member of a state or federally recognized tribe, or a member of Canadian tribe, Native Hawaiian, or Pacific Islander. And if you are a descendant family member, you have a family member who was an enrolled member, we do ask students to submit a birth certificate of the family member who's enrolled. And let's say, for example, it is your grandmother. We ask you to submit a certificate of birth of your grandmother as well as your mother to kind of showcase that you are a descendant family member who's an enrolled member of a state or federally recognized tribe. And then, of course, their enrolled document as well of enrolled citizenship in the tribe. So yeah, there's if there's more questions about that, we're happy to elaborate further. But those are just some general information we want to share to our students to submit in regards to tribal citizenship verification. And then last but not least, just as you're wrapping up your application, we ask students to submit a transcript. This can be an unofficial or official transcript. We do ask students to submit a transcript that reflects the most recent grades that you have received. So for example, we ask students to submit fall grades for this coming, because we know we're still in the spring semester, just about the end of it, but we do ask students to submit fall grades. And even if you maybe have taken time off, a semester off from school, we do ask you to submit the most recent grades you received from your school. And the same goes for high school students. We do ask you to submit your high school transcript. So we also would like to see those as well if you're an incoming freshman. So once you have uploaded all your documents, completed your essay responses, and entered all of your student information, you will click on Mark Complete. And once you click on, well, unfortunately for me, I didn't enter anything, but after you mark complete, it will bring you back to the web page we're at before. Sorry, again, little buffer. And here we go. And then once you have been brought back to this page, one last step for you to complete is to click on the submit button here at the right corner. Just because you mark complete in your scholarship application does not mean it has been submitted yet. So just a heads up, because there are a few students that we follow up with just as we get closer to the scholarship deadline. We send friendly reminders like, hey, we saw that you may have completed your application, but we saw it hasn't been submitted yet. So friendly reminder, you know, there's only like, I don't know, a few days left to submit the deadline. So please submit as soon as possible. And then students like, oh, I didn't push submit. So please make sure that you click on the submit button after you have entered all your information in the application. So that's pretty much it for the application. This next one is a reference request. So again, for all of our AISES scholarships, we ask students to submit 2 letters of recommendation. Here, there's lots of ways how students can go about sending a notification to the recommender that they're asking for a letter of recommendation from. So we do ask students to enter two people to write letters of recommendation on their behalf. And AISES sends them an instruction message through email laying out about how to submit a letter of recommendation on behalf of the student. So for students in submitting the request, you will be asked to enter your recommender's information. So we ask you to enter your reference name, whoever it may be, and then their email address, and then your email address as well. So once you have entered all the following information, you will click send, and this message, the same message that you'll see here on top, will be sent to them in addition to a link where they can upload the letter of recommendation on your behalf too. So this can get a little tricky. First and foremost, once you have entered the information of your recommender and you send them the notification and they do not receive it, let's say in like 1 to 4 days, it could be that it's been delivered to a junk or spam folder. And if it is still not there, please reach out to us and we'll be happy to kind of help you out and help your recommender out and where they can submit the letter to. So usually, again, doesn't usually get sent to the spam or junk folder, but if they do not see it within a numerous number of days, please let them know it could have appeared there. If not, then reach out to us. But again, you're also more than welcome to send them a 24-hour reminder to kind of gently remind them like, hey, I just want to check in and let you know that the letter of recommendation is due on June 7th. And let's say it's June 1st and you still haven't seen the letter of recommendation from your recommender. So you can also send them a reminder here in your scholarship portal as well to like gently remind them, say, hey, I just want to check in and make sure you submit the letter. So that's the really cool features that the reference request has. And again, we do ask students to input 2 of their referencer's contact information in these module boxes here. And also if you, let's say, for example, you want to add a new request, a new recommender to write a letter of recommendation on your behalf, you can also click on the green box here with a plus, and then you can enter a new recommender's information in that same module box here. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the reference request. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, make sure you click on submit of your scholarship application. And I believe that is mostly it for the AISES portal. I'll go ahead and open some time now for questions. Does anybody have any questions about the portal? I'll stop sharing for a second. Yeah, Morgan.
Hey, I had a question. I wanted to apply for the Anderson scholarship,
Yeah.
but it doesn't come up on my AISES portal. I was wondering if I could get help like adjusting that, or if there's something on my profile that I need to fix so I can apply for it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So usually the AT Anderson usually available to all students. So I'm more than happy to look into that for you as well. If you don't mind sharing with us, Morgan, what's your current major right now?
Right now I'm in a graduate program for physical therapy.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah,
Uh-huh.
awesome. Yeah, that's very odd. Yeah, I'll definitely look into that for you, and then I'll let our scholarship liaison Taylor know as well. That way we can see what could have been causing the issue. And then I also see Adrian's message as well. Thank you, Adrian, in the chat. So I will definitely also make sure that those scholarship opportunities are available for you both. And if anybody else has the same issue, please do not hesitate to reach out to us as well. There was, I want to say, a few months ago where there was a kink in Wise High where they kind of had a I want to say they were offline for a little bit for a few hours, and then they were back up. So that could have happened as well. And we have been manually matching students. But again, if you do not see some specific scholarship opportunities that you know you're eligible to apply for, please feel free to reach out to us. We'll make sure those opportunities are available for you. Oh, thank you, Adrian. Yeah, definitely. I'll make sure to look at your profile and make sure that to see what the issue could be in those matching for you with the In-Town USAA scholarship. Awesome, great questions. Does anybody else have any questions for me?
If I wanted to follow up about the AT Anderson scholarship, should I email you or should I email like the AISES platform? Or
You
who
can
would be
email
best to
me. Yeah.
contact? Okay.
Yeah, I'll put Taylor and myself's email in the chat, and please feel free to reach out to either one of us or CC us both in an email, and one of us will definitely be sure happy to help you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, everyone. So if you want to take note, excuse me, I added Taylor's email address to the chat as well as my email questions. But if no one else has any question, I will kind of go ahead into our presentation. Give me 1 second. All right. Okay. So right now we'll go ahead and share some brief announcements that AISES, the Student Success Team, and I would love to share with you all. So again, our scholarship applications are due on May 31st. It's already a month away. It's crazy how fast time goes. But if you have not yet started your application, please do so as soon as possible. And please share the announcement with your friends, your families, uncles, aunties, cousins. Let them all know that our scholarship application is closing very soon, and we hope you all get a chance to apply for the scholarship. And just after you submit your scholarship application, again, your letter of references are due on June 7th, so a week after you submit your scholarship application. So we just wanted to share those dates with you all. Please make sure you take note of it. And then if you want to look at the graphic on the right as well, it gives you a brief timeline of our scholarship. So usually the entire summer, right after the end of May, we take the whole summer to review all scholarship applications. And then usually in the start of the new academic year, we start notifying students and with an updated status on their scholarship application. So we just wanted to share the announcement with that. And then also today, our scholarship liaison, Taylor Kingsbury, will actually be sharing more in-depth information about each of our scholarship each of our scholarships. So for today, she'll be sharing information about the Apple Scholarship, GeoComply, Environmental Science Association, and the ARDC Scholarship. And also ARDC is actually the newest scholarship that AISES has. So if you want more information about that, please join our webinar later on today. It will be at 4 p.m. Central Time and 3 p.m. Mountain Time. So if you're available, please join us in that webinar. And then our next announcement is just briefly sharing with us that we have been hosting again our webinars since the start of the new year. So our next, we have our last two webinars next month. The first one will be on Thursday, May 18, where we'll have a panel of guest speakers joining us to share their career journey in art and science. The names of our guest speakers yet to be announced, but more information will be shared very soon. And then we have our last webinar on Thursday, May 25th, and this is more focused on mental health awareness. So we're hoping that students can join us. As we all know, it's been a long semester. It's been a tough semester. So we definitely want to provide that space to all of our students to take some time, take a breath, and join us in a mindfulness practice exercise. So please join us in that as we close out the spring semester. So that's our upcoming webinars, and that's pretty much it. So now we will actually go ahead and go into our gift card drawing. And I'm very happy to announce that Morgan, you're actually our gift card winner today. So congratulations, Morgan. You will be receiving a $25 Visa gift card. If you don't mind, Morgan, sending me a message in addition to your technical difficulty in AISES, letting me know that you won the gift card, and I will share more information about addressing your technical difficulty, as well as how we will be sharing that gift card with you. So yeah, everyone, I believe that concludes our webinar this afternoon. And I know we are reaching that period of finals, so our AISES Student Success Team wants to share with you all that we believe in you. Remember to take breaks, and you will do really, and we hope that you do really well in your finals, and we want to wish you the best of luck in your finals. So thank you all again so much for joining us, and please stick around if you have any questions. I'm here, but thank you all so much for joining us.
Wait, quick question.
Yeah.
So, like most of the time, like when I'm applying for scholarships, I just kind of like turn away because I see that like, there's like the minimum requirement for GPA, which is like 3.0.
Mm-hmm.
I've been just like sitting at a 2.5 for like a while now. I'm working on it, you know what I mean? It's just like it slipped up one semester.
Yeah, of course. That's no problem at all. So we do recommend students, even, we have the standard of the GPA requirement, but it's not always set in stone. We always tell students to apply, even if your current GPA is not reflecting a 3.0. We always encourage students to apply anyways. And we definitely share students to kind of reiterate in their essay response, as well as in that additional comment section, to provide further reasoning of your next steps of improving your GPA. So we still encourage students to apply, even if your GPA is not a 3.0, we definitely encourage you to still apply.
Pretty cool. Thank you. That's all I
Yeah,
have.
of course.
I sent a message in the chat, but
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Oh, no,
Is
you're
it a
good.
chat service? Didn't pop. There we go. Okay.
So I don't think my recommender sent anything. Even though I reminded him multiple times, I don't think he sent the letter on the deadline, but I completed the application, like the entire thing. Is there like anything I can do?
Yeah. And this is for the Cobell Scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I unfortunately don't have too much information about the Cobell Scholarship in regards to their application, but I'm more than happy to share with you their contact information if that's okay.
Yes,
Although
please.
we do share the OASIS platform, we don't know too much about each other's scholarship. So
Okay.
yeah, so if you're interested, I can send you in a chat real quick, I can share with you their contact information of the person you can contact.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So give me 1 second as I kind of look for that real quickly. Okay. Okay. Okay, Rosa, in the chat, I sent you the good number to call them. You can call them directly or use a toll-free number. And also the email address you can email in regards to following up about your Cobell scholarship. So hopefully they can help you. But definitely
Thank
they're
you
super
so
helpful.
much.
Yeah, of course. All right. Well, thank you all for joining. If there's any further questions, thank you so much for joining again.